Hello and welcome to Nationwide, reaching you on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Lami Ali. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website, nta.ng/live, and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has arrived at Ebonyi State on a one-day working visit. Professor Osinbajo was received by Governor David Umahi and other dignitaries, including chieftains of the All Progressives Congress (APC) in the state. Osinbajo is expected to address the closing session of the 21st Joint Planning Board and National Council on Development Planning holding in Abakaliki. The meeting was organized by the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning in collaboration with Ebonyi State Government with the theme Good Governance and Institutional Capacity, Pathways to Sustainable National Development. Osinbajo on arrival commissioned the 10 kilometers Abakaliki-Afikpo highway and is also expected to inaugurate other landmark projects executed by the Umahi administration across the state. Now, in the wake of industrial unrest in some electricity distribution firms, federal government is engaging electricity workers to ensure harmony in the power sector. Joshua Ojito reports that the Minister of State for Power, Godi Jediagba, is leading the intervention.
Recent unrest by electricity workers due to non-payment of staff entitlements led to blackout in franchise areas, including the nation's capital, Abuja. Though federal government intervened and resolved the impasse, the conversation here with players in the industry is to sustain industrial harmony so as to serve electricity consumers better.
I also hope and pray that the union will work along with governments, as they have always done, to improve the situation of things in the industry. Let us have light by working together and working hard enough to keep this thing going so our economy can improve.
Without electricity, this economy cannot move forward. And so it is expected that sitting where you sit in the seat of leadership, that you will chart the path that every other sector will follow to make Nigeria a great nation.
The Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment had always advised, guided, and mediated. The Honorable Minister of State Power had always kept me close to know where the Minister of Power would intervene, as usual.
While federal government assures electricity workers of favorable working conditions, it is expected that their commitment to duty will translate to improved power supply. Joshua Ojito, NTA News.
Now, sustaining and expanding the energy mix policy of the federal government, which targets 30% renewable energy sources by the year 2030. Key players in the electricity industry say will address the recent challenge of power outages nationwide. Joshua Ojito reports that industry players, in addition to solar home systems, see more interventions in wind turbines and nuclear energy will bridge energy gap in the country, while commending the prompt intervention of the federal government to restore supply nationwide. The power engineers advocate for more coordinated approach in the yearly turnaround maintenance of generating plants so as to avoid a repeat of the recent experience that threw the country into darkness.
Planning Coordination Center for power generation plants and gas suppliers nationwide. This will ensure that a minimum level of power is available on the grid at all times. In accordance with the grid code, the system operator, under the supervision of the regulator, should be mandated to coordinate GENCOs and the TCN expansion and maintenance program to ensure that at all times during the year, there's a minimum of about 6,000 megawatts in the grid, at least for now. That should be the planning. and should be what we should be operating on, so that as we upscale upward, we can increase further. But there should be that plan that at all time, this should be what we have already arranged for.
The Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC, Mele Kyari, has informed the House of Representatives Committee on Petroleum Upstream on the level of crude oil theft and vandalism and how such acts of crime are impacting the sector. Mele Kyari explained that measures have been put in place to improve production output and increase revenue. The GMD suggests setting up of special courts to prosecute the culprits behind these acts of economic sabotage.
What we are seeing today, we have not seen it in the last 20 to 25 years in terms of production numbers. Within a distance of less than 20 kilometers, we remove 85 insertions within 3 weeks.
More revelations have come beyond what we imagined, and we don't want to preempt what we are looking for.
Let's move away from disasters foretold to an era of disasters prevented.
Crude oil theft is said to have grossly affected daily production output, which necessitated adjustments to the fiscal framework by the federal government to amend the 2022 Appropriation Act. Now, the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, says the federal government is committed to ensuring an efficient transport system in the country for economic and social development. The minister stated this in Abeokuta as the unveiling of the Ogun State Mass Transit Bus Scheme. Lekon Agbonde reports.
Commending the Ogun State government for embarking on huge transport infrastructure investment in the state, the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, says with Ogun State Mass Transit Bus Scheme now in place, transportation has been strengthened in the state to provide vital links between centers of production and markets, thereby making life more comfortable for the people.
The fact that you are a gateway has given you the benefit of having different and several rail lines that goes to different areas. So your people will be enjoying the construction of railway, and I hope, and it may happen, that most industries, because of the land you have, will move down this way because of the fact that you have railways traversing your area within your state.
Ogun State Governor Dapo Abiodun says efficient transport system remains the only way to promote competitiveness, market accessibility, and economic growth.
We are deeply committed to the transformation of this great state. We believe that as we proceed in this journey, with this mandate that has been entrusted to us, you will see how Ogun State continues to grow from height to height.
Goodwill messages from former President Olusegun Obasanjo and other key stakeholders centered on the effective use and maintenance of the scheme for flow of goods and human movement across the state. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Adeni Adebayo, has inaugurated the reconstituted National Focal Point Committee for Effective Management, Negotiation and Implementation of Trade Agreements. The 44-member committee is expected to engage with all relevant stakeholders to redefine all ongoing or future trade policy reforms and negotiation strategies with a view to creating more trade opportunities through improved market access for investment.
Will be to ensure that trade, investment, and technology policies serve as core enablers of growth and the sustainable development of the Nigerian economy.
Uses trade to achieve the broad national development objectives of structural transformation, industrialization, economic emancipation, employment generation, and poverty alleviation.
Now, efforts of the federal government towards putting an end to open defecation and making every Nigerian have access to water, sanitation and hygiene by 2025 is receiving the recognition of Water Aid, an international non-governmental organization. Olushia Adeabo completes the report.
For a government at the highest level to understand the worst challenges in the country and declare a state of emergency is the indication of the highest level of political will and commitment to solve the problems. That's the start of the journey.
Aside President Muhammadu Buhari's declaration of a state of emergency in Nigeria's water, sanitation and hygiene wash sector, addressing challenges facing the sector and carrying along governments at the sub-nationals have been the top priority of government. WaterAid, an international organization that focuses on the wash sector and operating in 34 countries around the world, has been observing activities and programs of Nigeria's water, sanitation and hygiene, with steering performance of the Ministry of Water Resources, courtesy various reforms being carried out. The man in the saddle, WaterAid, has presented an award to the Minister, Suleiman Adamu, in recognition of his efforts.
When we needed to get the president's award process going, they wanted to know from different countries who was contributing to the work of WaterAid to addressing the worst challenges across the world. So we did a profile on the Honorable Minister, and it was clear that he will be one of the biggest winners for that. So we're very happy to be here today to celebrate with him and to give him his award.
It's a clear indication that federal government is on the right track. So even the award itself is an advocacy tool for people, all the stakeholders, to appreciate that the issue of sanitation and hygiene, or the issue of washing in general, is very, very sensitive and very important to the world community at large.
For the leadership of the Ministry of Water Resources, the award has come with its own license to re-engineer the country's unwavering commitment to achieving long-lasting results in the wash sector. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, NTA News.
The federal government is strengthening its financial auditing process through capacity building in digital forensics and deployments of technology. The Auditor General of the Federation, Adolphus Agugu, said this at a lecture on electronic evidence and digital forensics in Abuja.
This era of digital accounting, it is imperative that you should go digital in auditing as well. So we, from the audit house, we see it as a priority for us. Electronic evidence is the way to go, and digital forensics, it is the in thing. It is what a must for any audit that want to survive in the 21st century.
Now, the beauty of an airport is beyond the physical structure. Modernization of the airport terminal is extremely necessary for the development of the air transportation system, comfort and safety of passengers. Chinyere Okoli examines the present state of the new terminal building of Asaba International Airport.
The totality of an airport revolves around features like the type of amenities and conveniences provided, the maintenance culture, the behavior of airport personnel towards passengers, the security apparatus, and the ease of access of amenities, as well as innovative services available. Asaba Airport became operational in 2014 until it was downgraded in 2015 by the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority over the failure by the state government to put in place safety and security measures of post-state of facilities. But not long after, the Governor Kowa-led administration settled for a master concessionaire and sub-concessionaire model for the Asaba Airport for the sole purpose of managing the airport to serve the public better and for the betterment of the state.
We saw that there was a need to privatize through a concessioning process, such that we are not only going to cut off the overhead expenditure that was coming from government, but that we're also able to maximize the profitability.
On the present state of the new terminal building at the airport, the managing director, Asaba Airport Company, Christopher Panik, revealed that the renovation is ongoing at the new terminal as part of upgrade.
The works are still ongoing because we're not finished. And also the other thing that we have improved is the water system. These are the immediate changes that we've made. Now the rest is maybe not as visible as people would want it to be.
Passengers flocking the airport say the completion of the new terminal and upgrade will bring more development to the town and its environs.
To expand the economy of the state. And not only that,
It has attracted development all round.
It is believed that the recent upgrade will provide new growth opportunities as airlines can operate bigger aircraft for international destinations. In Asaba, Chinyere Okoli, NTA News.
Nationwide now moves to Lagos studio with Kehinde as our guide. It's good to see you, Kehinde.
Hello, Lami. Good to see you too. Securing the Gulf of Guinea against all forms of external attack and piracy is crucial, owing to the global importance of the maritime routes to ECOWAS countries. The Chief of Naval Staff, Awa Gambo, while noting strategies designed by personnel to secure the maritime corridors, said Nigerian Navy is strengthening collaboration with the European Union to further secure the maritime space. Abolade Salami reports.
Maritime insecurity has long been one of the most persistent and intractable threats to maritime communities and economic prosperity in West Africa. Importantly, concerted efforts in form of synergy to address the menace was reached in conjunction with the Economic Community of Central African States to formulate the Yaoundé Code of Conduct as a foundation for broad-based regional maritime security along the entire Gulf of Guinea.
Efforts to continue to secure the maritime space, especially the Gulf of Guinea, is crucial to the regional navies and international players.
In extending the collaboration beyond the continent of Africa, at a time the nation is committed to the sustainable development of our blue economy, the Nigerian Navy is strengthening relationship with the European Union on maritime security.
The European Union shares a mutual interest with Nigeria. The freedom of navigation along the coast of the Gulf of Guinea is our freedom of navigation as well.
While the Nigerian Navy is deploying all in its arsenal to rid the maritime space of piracy, armed robbery at sea, as well as kidnapping of seafarers, synergy with other Gulf of Guinea navies will be sustained to comb the coastal area of illegalities.
Working together is a sine qua non in the zeal to defend the seas by enhanced maritime security and safety needed to promote international trade.
Meanwhile, in the maritime simulation exercise, officers from the Spanish and Italian Navy participated in a search and rescue operation of a vessel that was hijacked by pirates. The willingness of the Nigerian Navy to always collaborate with international partners in efforts to curb maritime crimes in the Gulf of Guinea was re-emphasized. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
It will no longer be business as usual for recalcitrant traders who are in the habit of undermining extant laws guiding import and export of goods in the country, as the Apapa Area Command of the Nigerian Customs Service is reinvigorated to clamp down on smuggling activities within the port. The area controller, Yusuf Malanta, sounded a note of warning while briefing media on the command's activities in the first quarter of 2022. Details in this report.
Barely 4 months into the year, the Nigeria Customs Service Apapa Command, as in no small measure, surpassed the revenue generated between the month of January to March 2021 by 65.7% when compared to 2022. This feat was made possible through officers' dedication and leveraging on information technology.
Apapa Command will always ready to assist in facilitating legitimate trade and ensuring that all forms of smuggling activities through false declaration on import/export trade done in defiance to the extant trade guidelines will be detected through our layers of control mechanism.
In its anti-smuggling campaign, goods that fall under the prohibition list were seized, totaling 46 items with a duty paid value of close to 1.2 billion naira.
The non-inspection regime is targeted in increasing volume of cargo inspection, saving cost and time of clearing, storing reliable data and image for reference purpose, and reduce human contact in the examination of containerized cargo, leading to delay in the clearance time.
Not resting on its antecedents, the command says its track record would only propel officers and men of the command to up its antics in discharging their responsibility.
And that's a bit from here in Lagos. Felicia in Jos is waiting to bring you stories from that zone after this break. But before then, we'd like to remind you that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/alive and on YouTube at NTA News Online. You can also visit our Facebook page at NTA Network News, Twitter handle at NTA News Now, and on Instagram at NTA Network News for updates.
The Nigerian
Still watching nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Welcome to JOS. National Orientation Agency says it is reawakening the consciousness of students of tertiary institutions on the dangers of drugs and substance abuse, human trafficking, and cyber crimes. Director General of the agency, Dr. Garba Abari, stated this during a reorientation program at the Nigerian Television Authority Television College, JOS. Belkisunuhu has details.
Tagged Campus Focus, the Security and Reorientation Program is against political thuggery, kidnapping, drug addiction, radicalism, and violent extremism. Emphasis on tertiary institutions is supported by the fact that youths contribute more than 60% of the labor force, which drives the process of governance and socio-economic development.
That they are bringing it to us and letting us know is something that is encouraging to us.
I never knew about human trafficking. I never knew it exists here in Plateau State. So now that I'm aware of it, I would like to create awareness also to my friends outside and colleagues.
Director General National Orientation Agency, Dr. Garba Abari, represented, emphasized the need for students to be sensitized, mobilized, and encouraged to shun all forms of social vices and imbibe the Nigerian core values of integrity, patriotism, social justice, and religious tolerance.
We want to curtail the rising trend of social vices in tertiary institutions, and we want to create a sustainable synergy between National Orientation Agency, development partners, and tertiary institutions for value reorientation.
The event featured presentation of papers on dangers of social vices as the agency promised to sustain sensitization for societal transformation. In Jos, Bilkisu Nuhu, NTA News.
Medical students, University of Jos, are sensitizing schools on oral hygiene for healthy living. Zenret Dingmun has the report.
The outreach, which has as its theme, Give a Child a Better Oral Health Hygiene, was organized by the medical students as part of their social responsibility of giving back to society and strengthening community relations. The outreach, apart from meeting the health needs of the communities, also gives them a sense of purpose and fulfillment.
Our main aim is sensitize and enlighten the students, especially in rural areas, on the benefits on taking care of their oral hygiene and the effects and the diseases it will cause if they don't actually take care of it.
The beneficiaries expressed gratitude to the students for the initiative, promising to keep to the medical advice for healthy living.
I am proud that they come here to teach us about how to keep our teeth clean and healthy. May God bless them and give them more understanding.
To teach me clean hygiene.
It gives the children the insight of how to brush their teeth. And I think it has helped them to even know the impact. And they can also take it down to their parents. So it's a very good initiative.
Items that will enhance oral hygiene were distributed to the beneficiaries. In Jos, Zenred Dingmun, NTA News.
And that report brings us to the end of our contribution in Jos. It's back to Lami in Abuja.
Thank you, Felicia. Now, police in Adamawa State have intercepted a truckload of hard drugs worth over 38 million naira. Simon Asha reports that 5 persons were also arrested in connection with the crime.
The vehicle, which is said to be transporting the drugs from Anambra State to Mubi local government area of Adamawa State, was intercepted by the Nigerian police after a tip-up on the development, which subsequently led to the interception of the vehicle and the drugs. Briefing newsmen, the police public relations officer, Deputy Superintendent of Police, Suleiman Yaya Ingroje, commended the members of the public for sharing useful information to the police and urged them to sustain it in the interest of the fight against crimes and criminality in the society.
The consignments are worth about 38 million naira so far. The target reside in Mubi according to the preliminary investigations, and our men are working tirelessly to see if the receiver will be apprehended. And as soon as he's apprehended, then we will know to where are they going to distribute such consignment.
So items intercepted are 28 cartons of 30 milligram of pentolic injection, 39 cartons of tramadol tablets, 74 cartons of 100 milligram red tramadol capsules, and 1 carton of 100 milligram clofenic tablets, among others. The police say will be handed over to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency for further action. In Yola, Simon Asher, NTA News.
Now, the military is tasking participants of the Army War College Course 6 2022 to develop strategies to tackle the evolving asymmetric security challenges in the country. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, stated this at the college.
To hereby inaugurate.
It is the beginning of training at the Nigerian Army War College for these mid-senior level officers, mostly from Nigeria and 5 from allied countries. For about 9 months, the officers will be taken through several aspects of modern warfare.
The current security environment in the country gives added impetus for the need to train operational level leaders to enhance their effectiveness in meeting the ends of military strategic objectives for Nigeria.
The increasing asymmetrical nature of modern warfare poses a nut for the participants to crack. The outcome will form part of a larger strategy the Army seeks to deploy in tackling the security challenges in the country.
And the current threats are mostly asymmetric and thus do not have ready-made conventional approaches to tackling them. You must therefore learn to think out of the box, not forgetting that contemporary security challenges of the 21st century submit only to knowledge-based and specialized efforts.
The time has come for us to address recruitment, education, training, and promotion so that they are consistent with the intellectual requirement for the future joint force.
The security challenges in the country continues to evolve, and the traditional method of tackling them are becoming obsolete. The Army War College Nigeria, established in 2017, is focused at producing trained operational leaders for the Nigerian Army. From the Nigerian Army War College in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
In the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC is seeking to strengthen collaboration with the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, in the areas of credible intelligence gathering and human capacity development for effective service delivery in disaster mitigation and management. Kenneth Nanim reports that the Corps was at the NEMA office in Abuja on a courtesy visit.
Protection of critical national assets, frontline in disaster management and control, as well as private security services are the core mandate of the NSCDC. Emerging humanitarian crises occasioned by security threats in parts of the country have, however, increased the responsibilities on the shoulders of the Corps.
Government also directed Civil Defense Corps to come up with a robust safe school initiative program that will provide security and safety for our schools.
The Corps believes that for it to succeed, it must work hands in gloves with NEMA, a sister federal agency. Apparently, quick response to credible intelligence shared is key to achieving results.
Every single Nigerian is an intelligence officer. How to deal with this conflict is basically to work on intelligence and then adopt what is called offensive strategy.
Every disaster site is a potential crime site. And this underscores the need for a better relationship between NEMA and NSCDC. especially as we make a new resolve to confront the complex adversities and attendant humanitarian outcome nationwide.
Both agencies are on the same page on the provision of adequate logistics, security for operational staff at disaster sites or emergency situations, and manpower development as other areas to strengthen ties. Meanwhile, the Secretary General of the Nigerian Red Cross Society also led delegation from the Red Crescent Societies of Saudi Arabia to the agency. Their mission is also to deepen collaboration with NEMA in disaster mitigation and humanitarian crisis management. The group is also focusing attention on how best to share experiences in mobilizing support services for victims of humanitarian crises. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
A herd of cows has been struck by a strange ailment with not less than 10 seriously affected. Quick intervention of officials from the local government, Kogi State Ministries of Environment and that of Agriculture has helped to avert possible food poisoning, as those that were slaughtered and conveyed for sale to unsuspecting members of the public have been mapped up and destroyed. Solomon Aiden reports.
An eyewitness account who spoke off camera revealed to NTA News crew that the cows, while returning from grazing at about 6 Wednesday evening, got to Zone 8 area, Lokoja, and began to exhibit signs of sickness as a result of what many believe is the consumption of agrochemicals.
The chairman called. I had a call from Zone 8 area that cows numbering over 30 were found dead. And they were scared, not even because they never even thought anybody would come and pick such cow and take to market.
The effort will be geared towards carrying out microscopic or whatever test that is required to make sure that poison or contaminated meat is not sold to the public.
While 2 of the infected cows were said to have been intercepted around Zone 8 junction in the early hours of the day, some carcass were discovered and retrieved at a cold room, with others recovered at Lokongoma Market.
We have done enough finding at the cold room. We discovered that it is highly dosed with organophosphate, which is detrimental to human beings. And as such, we are condemning it so that it will not be left for them to go and be sold for human consumption.
The recovered dead cows have since been destroyed and buried. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
The Barbary is standing by in Port Harcourt for the continuation of Nationwide. Let's join her. Hello, the Barbary. It's over to you.
Welcome to Port Harcourt. Some stakeholders of the People's Democratic Party, led by the former Senate President Bukola Saraki, had visited Governor Nyesom Wike to discuss on ways to unite all those aspiring to lead the country in the PDP and chart a roadmap for the party in the 2023 general elections. Ogediyekwe completes the report.
Head of the delegation is the former Senate President Bukola Saraki, briefing journalists after the meeting, which held behind closed doors, said the River State to meet with Governor Wike as a key stakeholder in PDP to discuss how best to unite the party and foster unity among all those who are aspiring to lead the country in the forthcoming political dispensation. Saraki says with the realization that unity is key in making PDP clinch power in 2023 and redirect Nigeria to the path of growth and progress.
Key stakeholder of this party to discuss frankly. He's giving us his views. We'll take some suggestions that we'll continue to work with as we move away from here. But the key thing is unity. The key thing is to put the country first and put the party first.
Governor Wike says their interest is the unity of the party and Nigeria to ensure that PDP takes over the realm of leadership in 2023.
To the party, our interest is to make Nigeria happy by making sure by 2023 PDP takes over the reins of government, because Nigerians are patiently waiting. And I can assure you that we're going to work as a team to make Nigerians happy.
Other members of the delegation include Governor of Bauchi State, Senator Bala Mohammed, Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwa, and Port Harcourt, Oge Dinyekwe, NTA News.
The Nigerian Navy forwarding operating base Bonny River State has arrested a vessel on an illegal deal along the Bonny waterways, laden with over 125,000 litres of automotive gas oil known as diesel. The vessel was handed over to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for further investigation and prosecution. Robinson Darataide has the details.
The vessel MV Otrije was intercepted by officers from the Nigerian